Got a question. Ever felt like your thoughts get tangled up? Like they make sense in your head but not out loud? Welcome to Leave It to Larimore, the space where we slow down, speak up, and sort it all out. No experts, no script, just real talk, real people, and a real understanding. I'm your host, Bryant Larimore, and together, we're untangling life, one conversation at a time. Let's talk about it. So, I think this conversation is going to be something worth listening to for sure. Me being a parent, I'm definitely coming from this from a couple of angles. But parents are wrong too. Parents are wrong too. You know, and I really want to preference this by I owe my son a tremendous apology. Because I did not have the ability to see then in him what I should have been able to see being a steward over something that I was responsible for making better. And I was caught up in a system, I believe, where I was programmed to think that, hey, man, you got to get good grades and you got to pay attention because you're not going to be able to get a job and be successful without that, you know, which those are essential qualities that we definitely want to promote. We just cannot get so hung up in that place to where we lose sight of the potential that is established. And my son is such a creative, innovative, talented individual that I boxed his artistic nature in a system that now I see from a much different perspective. So had I been able to have the knowledge now, or have the knowledge then that I have now, I would have been able to see that level of innovation that was already in him, that already wanted to circumvent the rules in a way that just broke tradition. And I think that I personally, I missed that. I missed it. And you may have heard me say before, I feel like our younger children get a better version of us than our older children had an opportunity to experience because of what we did not know, you know. And so now I think about it and I look at that and I go back and I think about my parents, my mom, and how there were so many clean-cut moves that I felt like had she made, it would have promoted me a head start to go in a better direction or to give me that advantage. But there was decisions that she made that was based off the information that she had at the time. And not understanding that, you know, my frustration was definitely, you know, I could have been and I could have seen and I could have, if you could have, and not really taking into consideration what I was as a baby to her life, to whom she, in essence, was still trying to figure life out. So it really brought the conversation, you know, up to really take sight that we can be wrong as parents. You know, we can be wrong. There are some things that I feel our parents use as self justification for what they've done, instead of taking the accountability to say, you know what, I made a call, but that call wasn't right, and I could have made a better call. Rather than, just putting the thought out there that I was doing the best thing for you at the moment, and not really taking responsibility for that best thing at the moment could have been a better thing. And so I look at the fact that, so often you hear parents say it is the responsibility of the child to honor thy mother and thy father, and which I'm in agreement with. Yes, that's exactly what we are to do. But that is only 50% of building a healthy relationship between a child and a parent. That's only half, because you also have to not provoke your children. And as parents, we have to make sure that we're putting the positive foot forward in the relationship between us and our kid. Because the reality is, and I know this is somewhat controversial, but the kid didn't ask to be here. That kid is the responsibility of the parent. And the parent made the decision to have the child, so you automatically took responsibility for that role. And that's not to say that you're indebted to your child, but it is to say that your level of responsibility is to that child. And if that role is taken in consideration or taken from a sincere perspective and an empathetic place, then I'm pretty sure you might not have to worry about the nursing home as much. But we have to be careful of how we treat our children. We have to be careful of how we acknowledge our children, because we're gonna need someone to take care of us. And those positions are not obligations. Our children are not obligated to take care of us. But I would request that, to make it a more probable situation, that your child would be honored to be the person to see after you and to take care of you, I would request that you do right by them while raising them. And that may perhaps encourage them to be far more supportive in making sure that they want to be in the position to take care of their parents. And there are situations where adult children still have to be taken care of and looked after. So with that being said, as a child, you do your part to respect the relationship with your parent, so that they don't feel as if it is a hindrance or discomfort in being supportive to their adult child. When they see you putting your best foot forward, and they see you working, and they see you attempting, and sometimes we fall short. Sometimes situations happen that allows us the affordability to have to go back home, and to have to seek refuge, and to have to ask for assistance. And how you've handled the relationship between that parent could determine how encouraged they are to help. And I believe that we should note that it is not that parent's responsibility to take care of those adult children, no more than it is the responsibility of those children to have to take care of those parents. And in some situations, circumstances, we realize that facilities Senior facilities, nursing homes, those places are absolutely necessary. We really appreciate the individuals that love their job and do it effectively in those positions, because some people really cannot take on that responsibility from a healthy perspective. So we need people who are skilled in handling, those situations, because when some of our parents get old, they also get difficult to deal with. And it helps to have people who are skilled in that area to help navigate you through that journey. And so we really appreciate that. But for those children that want to take on that responsibility and they cannot fathom allowing someone else to do that job for their parent, that typically comes from a parent or a child that had a very healthy relationship with their parent, and they bridged the level of understanding for one another and respect that made that child feel honored to take care of that parent. We as parents can be wrong, and I don't think that it is a bad idea to stop, reevaluate yourself and your relationship with your child or with your parent, and see if you have actually bridged a healthy relationship. Have you really taken your children's feelings, thoughts into real consideration? Because although small, they're still people. Although younger than you, they still have feelings, thoughts, and ideas, emotions. And although older, our parents still go through their own struggles. We as parents still go through our own emotional struggles, our own mental struggles. So in hindsight, the level of empathy should be shared and reciprocated for one another, because we need each other. Oftentimes you really don't understand the important things in your life to be important until they're no longer available to be important. And bridging those relationships are extremely important. And there are some places where bridging the relationship could mean distancing in the relationship, because again, we want to do the healthiest thing for all parties involved. And sometimes stepping back, giving each other room to breathe and think is the healthiest thing to do. But in those moments, while you're taking that sabbatical, while you're taking that break, you should definitely utilize that time to evaluate what you could have done in that relationship to always make it better. Even if that opportunity to bridge that gap never presents itself, a self-evaluation of how I can make life better for other people, or how I can make my contribution to not make life worse for people, can be a healthy contribution in itself. I think as parents, we lose sight that because we are responsible for creating our children, that we automatically assume that we know better and know best always. But parents can be wrong too. And to take the time out to listen to your kids. Listen to that younger generation. I was taught that if the old person still hangs out with the young person, it typically makes the old person the smartest within their group of old people. And if young people hung out with the old people, it typically would make the young people the smartest within that group of young people. The information that we have can be beneficial for each other. As parents, as children, we really could learn a lot if we learn to listen. Trust that you've raised your children right. Give them an opportunity to show you how good of a job you've done. Allow your children to show you how strong they can be. You know, sometimes letting go is a very difficult thing to do. Allowing them to actually grow up to where you don't see them as your baby anymore. It's hard to do. But if you can trust that you did all that you knew to do, the best that you knew to do, and you really want to be open and considerate to the fact that there are some things that you could have done better, then you may really get that listening could yield some level of growth. You really could gain. And I'm so apologetic to my son because I feel like I could have allowed him or helped him be so many steps further if I could have seen him instead of looking at me through him and giving him that push of encouragement to be uniquely himself and the best version of that he could be. Oftentimes we try to live vicariously through our children and we want them to be what we want it to be without taking in consideration that they may not want to be that. The fact is, parents can be wrong too. There are so many places that we really could grow in if we stopped and listened to our kids. And there are places that we could miss, potholes that we could actually jump over, bruises that we actually could avoid if we listened to our parents. There are a lot of places where the parents that love you are really looking out for you and have your best interests at heart. Even though they can be wrong, we need each other. We need the wisdom that parents bring. We need the innovation that the next generation brings. And with wisdom and innovation, we'll have progression. This has been a real light conversation. We'll leave it to Larimore. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the backyard edition of Leave It to Larimore, where we are having guests and we are having exclusive interviews and we are having real backyard dialogue, the uncut version. But I'm your man, Mr. Larimore. This is Leave It to Larimore. And as always, let's talk about it. Hey, appreciate you for tapping in with Leave It to Larimore. This is where thoughts get untangled and understanding gets built. Remember, you don't need a title to have a voice, and you don't need all the answers to start the conversation. If something from today's episode made you think, hit that follow button, share with somebody, and keep the convo going. I'm Brian Larimore, and until next time, keep thinking and keep talking and keep growing. This is Leave It to Larimore.